Hello and welcome to the Fiscal News. My name is Milica and today you will hear the most important fiscal news from the last 3 months. Stay with us. What represents the de facto fiscalization system in Spain? One of the systems that have been introduced in the draft royal decree, which introduces new billing requirements, is the de facto system. More precisely, de facto is a voluntary system that will be enforced until the mandatory implementation of the law. Although this regulation is not yet officially approved, it sets out the main requirements of the new fiscalization system in Spain, and its main goal is to communicate in real time with the Spanish tax administration. Taxpayers who use computer billing system to comply with invoicing obligation may choose to continuously send all the billing records generated by their systems to the tax authority. Therefore, and according to the current draft royal decree, this is on a voluntary basis, automatically and securely by electronic means. All the billing and sales records generated by the computer systems are sent to the tax administration. Although it is voluntary, the Spanish authorities recommend choosing this way. This will be beneficial not only in relation to fiscalization, but also from the perspective of accounting, because in this way all sales and income will be reported to the tax administration. Also, in this case, the electronic signature will not be mandatory for the computer systems that send all billing and selling records to the tax administration. It will be sufficient that they calculate the footprint or hash of billing and selling records. According to current information, the system is expected to be live by July 2024. B2B e-invoicing law published on the official Gazette in Spain. In accordance with our previously published news about e-invoicing, we can say that the Spanish government approved the draft law, which is named Law for the Creation and Growth of Companies, which includes information about the obligatory B2B e-invoicing. After approval, the law is published in the official Gazette. This is an obligation for taxpayers with an annual turnover of more than 8 million euros will have 1 year after regulatory framework approval, and for the remaining taxpayers, the obligation will enter into force 2 years after the regulatory framework is approved. Mandatory subjects of these obligations are all Spanish VAT registered businesses and individuals are within the scope. All businesses and professionals must issue, send and receive electronic invoices in their business relationships with other entrepreneurs and professionals. Companies supplying certain services to final customers must issue and send electronic invoices in their relationships with individuals who agree to receive them or who have explicitly requested them. Timeline for new fiscalization requirements in Lithuania. As we have stated before, new fiscalization requirements start in 2023 in Lithuania. That means that fiscal devices are upgraded with new models and functionalities. That means that fiscal devices are modernized and have the ability to send data directly to the tax authority. Also, the timeline for switching to new devices is introduced. According to Article 42 of the Law on Tax Administration, taxpayers must submit to the State Tax Inspectorate the data of payments for goods sold via new functionalities with the fiscal devices. Taxpayers who use computer models of cash registers and whose income in 2021 exceeded 300,000 euros from January 1st, 2023. VAT payers who use electronic cash registers and whose income in 2021 exceeded 300,000 euros as of January 11th, 2023. Taxpayers using electronic models of cash registers, which were removed from the list of EKA models allowed for use in the Republic of Lithuania by 1st of May 2019, and all taxpayers from January 5th, 2025. Who is subject to fiscalization obligations in Norway? Norway's fiscalization obligations are an important aspect of the country's tax system. By ensuring accurate tax reporting and combating tax evasion, these obligations help to create a fairer tax system for all businesses and taxpayers. All businesses that engage in sales transactions are subject to fiscalization obligations in Norway. The obligation applies to businesses of all sizes, from small sole to large corporations. Every business that conducts cash sales is bound by fiscalization rules. Under the term cash sales, the Norwegian law considers sales made in real cash, notes and coins, as well as sales paid for via debit or credit cards. As long as there is direct contact between the seller and the buyer, the seller has to use a declared POS system with all mandatory functionalities prescribed by law and subsequent bylaws. POS exports in Norway. What you need to know. Transactions conducted through POS system in Norway are saved in an electronic journal. Upon request from the tax authority, exports from the journal need to be presented in the SAFT cash register file. More details are as follows. The SAFT export file contains detailed information about a business sales transactions, including the date and the time of the transaction, the value of the transaction, and the VAT rate applied. The file also includes information about any returns, discounts, and refunds that were issued. The Norwegian Tax Administration has provided guidance on generating the SAFT files via technical documents, describing the creation of the SAFT file with examples. This document is available on our Fiscal portal in English. E-invoicing in Greece. Decision on the implementation timeline for the B2G mandate. The Greek authorities are on the road to introducing an e-invoicing mandate to different sectors of business in the upcoming years, starting with transactions occurring between businesses and government institutions. According to the new decision, the timeline for implementation is noted as follows. Suppliers to some of the major government agencies, such as the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, etc., will be in the scope by the end of this year. As of January 1st, 2024, suppliers to all central government agencies will be in scope. From June 1st, 2024, suppliers and all other government authorities will be covered. And from January 1st, 2025, other government expenses must be invoiced electronically. In late December 2022, it was announced that companies were to issue electronic invoices in public procurement according to the EN norm, but details about the scope and the implementation timeline were left to be regulated in secondary law. The first regulation on the matter of timeline is the aforementioned April 12th decision. Conference Bulgaria in the Eurozone by the Ministry of Finance. What have they stated? At the beginning of the April conference, Bulgaria in the Eurozone was held. More precisely, Deputy Minister of Finance Metodi Metodiev pointed out this about the benefits of the country's entry into the Eurozone during the conference Bulgaria in the Eurozone, What's Next for Business, organized by the American Chamber of Commerce in Bulgaria. They introduced the main goals for Bulgaria to join the Eurozone and accept the euro as its official currency. The Deputy Minister of Finance indicated that the caretaker government continues the work on preparing the country for membership in the Eurozone at an accelerated pace. He explained that the Council of Ministers is doing everything within its powers to prepare the necessary bills, but from then on the decisions are in the hand of the legislators. For the process to go smoothly and for the conversion to appear almost automatic for ordinary citizens, the government is counting on business to partner with the state and take more proactive actions. For its part, the state will try to limit the administrative burden for companies as much as possible, said the Deputy Minister of Finance. During the forum, it became clear that one of the important things that businesses should prepare for is to indicate the prices of their products and services in Bulgarian lev and euros 1 month after the official decision on the date of the introduction of the euro in Bulgaria and for 1 year after that date. The period of double circulation of levs and euros will last 1 month from the date of introduction of the new currency. After the expiration of this 1 month, the euro will remain the country's only official currency. What is the fiscalization type in Ghana? This country operates under the governance of the Ghana Revenue Authority for the purpose of ensuring fiscal compliance. In Ghana, fiscalization revolves around an online software model which is characterized by the flexibility and absence of predefined hardware requirements. This approach places a strong focus on leveraging online platforms and software solutions to fulfill fiscal compliance obligations. As part of this country's goal to modernize and ensure better tax administration, Ghana is currently in the process of introducing a new digitalized fiscalization system known as eVAT system. This system aims to digitize and automate the value-added tax (VAT) process for all taxpayers in the country. The implementation of the eVAT system is scheduled to take place throughout the year, with the majority of taxpayers transitioning to the new system in 2023. The remaining taxpayers will adopt the system in 2024. How does communication with the tax authority in Ghana work? Communication with the tax authority in Ghana operates through an online-focused system that requires a continual internet connection. This digital infrastructure enables data exchange between the taxpayers and the Ghana Revenue Authority, the tax authority in Ghana, via the internet. Whenever a transaction takes place, the relevant transaction data is to be promptly transmitted to the GRA server for record keeping and processing. The communication process can be categorized as either real-time or near real-time. In instances where internet access is temporarily unavailable, the system allows in some offline usage, ensuring that communication remains as close to real-time as possible. This feature enables taxpayers to submit their transaction data even when internet connectivity is temporarily disrupted, with specific steps being taken. Furthermore, communication with the tax authorities can be done either directly or indirectly. Direct communication entails taxpayers interacting directly with the GRA's online platform to transmit their transaction data, while indirect communication involves the utilization of third-party software or service providers that facilitate the exchange of information between taxpayers and the GRA's server. Thank you for watching. That will be all for today. Until next time, and don't miss to check out our fiscal portal. Bye!